Good evening, dearest viewers. Welcome to another exciting episode of your favorite Saturday show, the Ask Pastor Sunday Show. Remember, this is a show where you get all your questions answered, your doubts cleared, and your lives uplifted in totality. My name is Charles Emmanuel, #1 best-selling author of the book, The Survival, and I'm your host for tonight. Tonight, I'm sitting with my father, my coach, my pastor, my mentor, my boss, my friend, a legend, whom myself and several others fail to describe with words accurately. We fail to describe him with accurate words because of the huge impact he has made in our lives. And I always tell my friends and the people around me that this is the greatest secret. Pastor Sandei Adelaja is the greatest secret the Africa continent is yet to unravel. So tonight, he's seated, ready to answer questions on any area of life at all you may have. But before we progress, I'd love to quickly remind you, please look for the share button to this video you're watching. That's right. Please look for the share button to this video you're watching right away and click on it. Give a friend, a brother, a sister, give a stranger an opportunity to get blessed with the words of wisdom that Pastor Sandei will be dishing out with the answers and solutions he will be preparing tonight. So have you clicked the share button to this video? If you have not, I'm waiting for you just a moment. Thank you for doing that. I know some of you are doing it. All right. So tonight, Pastor will be answering questions on any area of life whatsoever you may have. Are there questions troubling you? Are there things you require answers and solutions to? Quickly send those questions right now to pastor@sundayadelajablog.com, or you can even post your questions under this video. pastor@sundayadelajablog.com. Send your questions there or post the questions under this video. Any question whatsoever. Remember, friends. And while you are doing that, we'll just get straight into tonight's show. Good evening, Pastor.
Welcome again. It's been a long time.
Yes, Pastor.
You've not been with me on the show for like 3 months? Not maybe more.
No, Pastor, not up to that. Maybe like, maybe 2 months, maybe.
I think more.
I'm so excited to see you.
Welcome back.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Pastor, how's it been for you all this while?
For the past 2 months that you've not been here?
Yes, Pastor.
Okay, you want a full report?
Yes, yes. I'm sure our viewers also want that too.
Your viewers have been with me every Saturday, but it's you who have not been seeing the last 2 months. They've been seeing me, I bet you. Anyway, I've been okay. This week, apart from my swimming classes, I get myself engaged with a lot of, just what I need to do. Pastoral work, managing the ministry, the church, working on my Africa project. I've been busy getting ready for Nigeria and the challenges that are ahead. So that has kept me busy. I do my daily programs on the live streaming on Facebook. Yep. I'm writing like 10 books right now at the same time, and I have editors helping me, but I have to read all of them, each one of them. So that is challenging. So keeping myself busy. I keep myself busy. I am putting plans together to live for the next 300 years.
Right.
So I still have a lot ahead of me. I still have a lot to do.
Wow. Pastor, thank you so very much for your elaborate answer. But all of us are so used to you being a master achiever. We know about your work schedule, your work life, your mentality, your attitude towards work, and your unbeatable records of achievements. But then you did mention something just now. You said you are doing your swimming classes. This is an aspect of life that people don't really get to associate you with. We know about, okay, Pastor Sandei is passionate about work. But why swimming? Why swimming at this age?
Yeah, most people in this country learn swimming when they are 5.
Right.
And I'm learning it now when I'm 50. So it's not a good thing.
Okay.
My children learned swimming when they were 3. And my wife learned it when she was 40. But I'm learning it at 50. And I used to like gym better. I used to like carrying weight better. And but I was told by my doctor that I have issues with my spine, and that carrying weight is damaging my spine, my spinal cord. So, and that swimming will be a better sport to be engaged in. And I realized that the older you get, the fitter you want to keep. Right. And to keep fit, you need to do one kind of sport or the other. So the sport that they recommended for me that will be most balanced and most suitable will be no more carrying weight. I have to requalify. So I'm now qualifying to swim. So that will be the way I keep myself fit. I need to swim at least 3 times a week, or 5 times a week. So I try to do 3-5 times a week. And then I'm still going to court. I still go to court almost every week. I want to finish with that so that I could be able to move on to Africa.
Pastor, that's so fantastic. So we can basically say it's because of the recommendation or the prescriptions of doctors that you took to swimming.
Yes. It's more because I realized that for you need to always keep yourself fit. Right. You need to always do one kind of sport or the other. So I can be running, but I have flat foot. So because I have flat foot, running makes my leg tired too fast. So it's not good. When you have flat foot, running is not the best exercise for you. Right. So, but I need to do some form of active exercise or the other. Because my nature of work is sitting and being at home. I understand it in my mind that, because like you said, as an achiever, I know that there are laws responsible for everything that happens to you in life. Right. So if you want to live an healthy life, that is not enough for me to just be spiritual and pray. And there are laws for you to be healthy. And one of the key laws to observe for you to be healthy is for you to do sports. So the one that is recommended for me is swimming.
Wow, that's why you are our life coach. Right now, we are going to be talking about so many different questions, but you already spoke about the importance of fitness. But actually, why I mentioned what you said is this, Pastor. You said the doctor said there was something wrong with the spine, and they suggested swimming. But what many pastors or so-called spiritual born-again Christians would have done? They would have said, let us faith it out. Even when the doctor says there's something wrong with your spine, take it easy, go for another sport. They would just say, okay, let us faith it out. And before you know it, complications or something may arise. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that there is something wrong with faith, but what I'm saying is that you've got to use your common sense. And that's exactly what we're saying in this case, Pastor.
Yeah, faith is if you need to get healing. Okay. But in my situation, it's not really that I need healing. It's not like I am sick in the spine or anything. I'm not sick, but with age, you have some deterioration going on in your body. So my own deterioration is connected to the spine. And so I need to fix that. And it's not just like one healing. But even if you get healed one time, I'm still growing older every day. And because I'm growing older every day, the process is still continuing. So I will have to be getting healed every day. Why don't I put a system in place, which is by exercising and strengthening it, and then keep myself fit that way, rather than just asking God to come and do what I could do, when I could do that for myself.
Right. Thank you so very much, Pastor. That's been very insightful right away. All right, I think we'll just get into our questions straight away, Pastor, if you don't mind.
No mind.
All right. A question here, sir. This viewer is asking, how can I become a winner when I've failed all my life?
Yep, well, I have another thesis and another principle about failure. Failure is not necessarily bad. The more you fail, the more you could discover. So failure is a pathway to discovery. That is if you know how to relate to failure. So if you are the type that think that failure is catastrophic and is a catastrophe, then you will just gain depression when you fail. But if you know, on the other hand, that failure is a pathway to discovery, you are supposed to be jumping that you fail.
Right.
You know, that is what Thomas Edison discovered. He failed 1,000 times. I don't think this viewer has failed 1,000 times. And he said, apart from the failure 1,000 times, that there are 10,000 ways that he discovered how not to do what he was doing.
Right.
Because every failure tells him that that is the wrong way. Take another way. If he fails again, then that's also, he will no more go back to that way where he has failed. He's going to look for another one. So it's a discovery. So it's a path into discovery. So failing is not a problem. The problem is how you approach it. Do you turn it into a lesson? And do you turn it into a path of discovery for yourself so that you'll be able to discover a better way of doing things? Or you will just keep on whining and complaining that you fail? Personally, I don't believe that there is failure in life.
Wow.
I don't believe there is failure in life. I believe that nobody is supposed to fail in life. And that if anybody fails in life, it is either due to one of two things. Either because the person does not know the laws of life and the principles of success, or the person is not willing to pay the price that success requires.
Okay.
So what I would advise this person to do is to go ahead and learn and discover and get as much knowledge as possible in that particular area that he wishes to succeed in or to excel in. When he knows and he has discovered adequate knowledge and he has gained adequate understanding and enough wisdom, he should just now pay the price of discipline to accomplish and implement those things that he has discovered, and success will be guaranteed. That's why I'm swimming at 50, because it's not easy to learn a new thing at 50 in the first place. Anything,
Very true.
especially with swimming, you have to, because that your life is at stake. You have to be in the water. you could get drunk. You could drink the old water, but you still have to learn it. If you believe that it's about principles, it's about learning. There are laws responsible for everything, and if anybody could do it, you can do it too.
Pastor, thank you very much for the answer. And in addition to that, it's something that I think I've told you before. I said, even if there's somebody who wants to claim that he has been cursed, or maybe, some people say they have this generational failure, they don't, nobody does well in their family, nobody succeeds in their family. If there is any such person, maybe this viewer asking this person is somebody like that, all you need to do, I am telling you, I know what I'm saying, I'm convinced in it. All you need to do is get connected with Pastor Sandey, get connected with his teachings, with his materials. Even if you were doomed to fail, his teachings will transform your lives around. Pastor, a lot is going on Facebook revolution. People whose lives have been transformed totally.
You told me of some videos, but I'm not saying them. Because,
you're not saying them?
Yeah, because my Facebook friends, they were filled up like 10 years, almost 8 years ago, or 10 years ago. Okay. So I couldn't add all these new friends that are coming up. So whatever they do, I cannot access their timeline.
Wow. I think we have to prepare a solution.
Even your own,
to
I
that.
couldn't see.
Wow. We have to, we'll fix that up, Pastor. We'll fix that up. So if you are the person asking these questions, please, one more thing you should do in addition to what Pastor has said, start listening to Pastor Sandey. It doesn't even
I want you to finish your statement about the Facebook revolution you just mentioned, because you pulled somebody's leg and the person wants to know more.
Okay, a Facebook revolution is going on right now. We have been listening to, Pastor started his daily broadcast about 6 months ago. And in those 6 months, Pastor has taught over 300 world-class teachings. And it's just like you are hearing words every day. And these words are building something in you. They are propelling you. That's what happened to everybody. The more they kept hearing these words, they just felt like, boy, we've got something to offer our world. We've got to
They've been empowered.
They've been empowered, so they could not keep quiet. So right now, all your followers on Facebook, what they are doing is that they are bringing out different videos. Everybody is encouraging people.
They're starting their own projects.
They are starting their own projects, and amazingly, people are getting blessed. People are connected to their stuffs, and they're actually getting blessed from it. So a revolution is going on right now on Facebook. I know about Chigo, I know about Ikemdike, I know about Elizabeth Ali, I know about Mrs. Nkiru, I know about Chisandra.
TY.
TY, shout out to you. I know about TY. I'm there and a host of other people, Pastor Sunday's mentees, who are bringing out different teachings based on the empowerment they received from Pastor Sunday, and they're also empowering other people. So, Pastor, thank you. So you can join us. Pastor Sunday is live on Facebook twice daily, and it broadcasts live at 9:30 a.m. Kyiv time, 7:30 a.m. UK time, 7:30 a.m. Nigerian time, as well as 2:30 a.m. Eastern time. And Pastor is also back on Facebook at 9 p.m. Kyiv time, 7 p.m. Nigerian time, 7 p.m. UK time, and 2 p.m. Eastern time. Pastor does this every single day. Do well to listen to Pastor's teachings. Thank you. All right, Pastor, somebody says it feels like he has been called into a full-time ministry, and he feels that it is a pulpit ministry, but he doesn't know how to start. So he's asking, should he start with seminars, with summits, or should they just start with Sunday services?
Anything that will make you to connect with people is what you will use. You know, if you want to preach and start a pulpit ministry, don't wait for pulpit. You know, the only thing that is important in pulpit ministry is people. Go and find a way, any way you think is possible that will make you to connect with people. Anything that will make you to be able to make people to listen to you, not to listen to you to say that you want to teach them, but that you want to touch them with their issues and be able to help them and be able to, be there for them. Just anything that will make you to be able to bring them closer to you so that you'll be able to help them. But if you are hoping to just be teaching some people and make them gather together, that is not going to be very successful. Look for a way to bless people, to help people. Even if it is going to carry their bags for them or remove their baggage for them or their trash for them, do it. Anything that will bring you closer to people, that's your stage.
Wow, thank you. And that was how you started out, Pastor. You said you went to the ghettos, the gutters, and the lives of the people you changed today. Amazingly, they are the big, big people who are influencing the nation of Ukraine today. Many of those people who used to be drug addicts, prostitutes, drunkards, many of such people, right now, they're in the government, they're influencing. Some of them have civil society movements, some of them have different projects, and they're actually influencing Ukraine. Yeah. So thank you so very much for living what to preach.
Thank you.
Another person here is so blown away by the fact that you raised 200 millionaires in your church. And he says he has a vision to raise 10 millionaires within the next 10 years. So he wants to find out, is it 10 years? Within the next 3 years. So he wants to find out, what are the strategies you used? He said he believes you must have gone on some spiritual exercises. What are those spiritual exercises? What strategies did you use to raise them?
First of all, if you want to become a millionaire yourself, or you want to raise millionaires, you don't need spiritual exercises. People who become millionaires, money doesn't come to people who are spiritual. Neither does money come to people who go to church. Money doesn't even necessarily come to people who pray. Neither does money come to people who are educated. Money will not necessarily come to you because you are a businessman. Neither will money come to you because you are good. So money doesn't come to good people. Money doesn't come to Christian people. Money doesn't come to prayerful people. If that had been the case, Bill Gates would have been a son of the greatest prayer warrior in town. Or he would have been the head of a missionary service in one church or the other. And Warren Buffett maybe could have been, the biggest missionary in town. Right. But they are not. Why? Because money answers to laws. Right. Laws. So I will advise that person to go ahead and look for my book, Money Won't Make You Rich. Right. If he goes on the internet, he can find it. But not just on the internet. In any Christian bookstore, either in any country of the world, you can find that book.
Right.
Money won't make you rich. But you could also go to my blog, sundayadelajblog.com, and there is video blog there. All the list of my series that I've done are there, including the financial series or the loss of money.
Right.
And there are 51 messages, there are 51 hours of teachings on how to make people millionaires, on how to become a millionaire yourself. So that person could go and apply. Those are just free of charge.
Thank you so very much. Couldn't have been better said. All right, so the next person says, you emphasize on the kingdom message, and it says it feels like many preachers around today, they talk about the gospel of salvation, people winning people to Christ, people having a relationship with Christ. That why is it that you emphasize on the kingdom message the way you do? And also, if the kingdom message is so important, why is it that it's not mentioned in the New Testament so much?
I'm very sorry for the person who is answering that question. And because that question reveals a level of ignorance that is alarming to me.
Wow.
The level of ignorance is even surprising that the person has ever read the Bible before, or the person is a Christian. 75% of everything Jesus ever spoke about was about the kingdom. 75. Wow. 75. Not just it's not mentioned or not mentioned. 75. That's number one. Number two, the gospel of salvation is mentioned in the Bible, but maybe a few times. But 75% of the whole New Testament is about the gospel of the kingdom. And let's check. I will give the person an assignment.
Okay.
Every time you see the word gospel,
Okay.
is always, I mean, in the four books of the Matthew,
Mark, Luke, and John.
Mark, Luke, John. You look for the word, just Google it, the word gospel, and see the next word that follows. It will always be the gospel of the kingdom.
Wow.
The gospel of the kingdom. The gospel of the kingdom.
Wow. Wow.
So there is no word like gospel, just by salvation. The gospel of salvation. It's not written anywhere. Only the gospel of the kingdom is in the Bible. So that's why I'm surprised. The person is saying the gospel of the salvation is in the Bible and the gospel of the kingdom is not there. It's the direct opposite.
Wow. Wow. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. That was quite clear. The next person says, Pastor, how do you prepare your messages on the go? That is, prepare your messages when you study your Bible in Christian literatures, or you do it, okay. The person is asking how you prepare your messages. That is, do you prepare on the go, or maybe you have special times you sit down, maybe when you're going to preach, then you now start looking for all the materials to put together to make the message happen?
No, what I do is that I normally study the Bible every day. And in the process of me just studying the Bible for myself, I receive understanding and insights.
Okay.
Maybe revelations, insight, understanding. So I write those things down.
Okay.
And right now, I have enough messages for me to preach for the rest of my life, even if I never open the Bible again.
Wow. 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 So it's a constant lifestyle of studying,
Yes.
just studying the word,
Yes.
whether you are going to preach or not. And for
Yes.
how long have you been doing this, Pastor?
Since 89.
Since 1989.
Yeah, maybe 88, yeah.
Oh, God.
That would be like since 28 years.
Yeah, something like that, Pastor.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So you can say you're a fully prepared man.
That's why I'm coming every day, twice a day. I'm
Twice
saying
a
something
day.
new every day.
Yeah, because actually I like the question this person asked, because I also wonder myself. I know a little about your schedule, and I know there's no time for you to actually sit down, maybe 6 hours or something, studying or something, but then you come every day and you give us world-class teaching, things that will improve our lives, nuggets That, you know, some people, I do hear some speakers say when they want to speak or something, they actually prepare for as much as 6 months. And I'm wondering, Pastor Sunday preaches twice a day. So this is the secret, basically.
I used to do exactly the same thing when I just
Really?
started as a preacher. I used to, if I we need to preach at 6 o'clock today, by 12 o'clock I lock myself inside. So I need 6 hours to get ready to prepare my message and things like that and pray.
No,
I
Pastor,
used to
they
do
said
that.
6 months, not 6
6
hours.
months. Oh.
6 hours for one
Oh,
teaching or
okay.
message.
Yeah, yeah. Some people use a week. Most preachers, they spend the whole week preparing for the Sunday service. But that's because some of them have not prepared ahead. But
Yes.
I've prepared ahead. And besides the one of studying the Bible every day, you know, I was doing alone with God for 15 years straight. And all that time when I'm alone with God, no human being around, just lock myself inside. I was always there with God and with the Bible. So I had so many messages already
Wow.
prepared.
Thank you. That's a paradigm
And
shift.
I don't stop. I'm still preparing them up to now.
Wow, that's a paradigm shift, because I think the person is asking for himself. He says, please give me the paradigm. So he understands now that it's a consistent lifestyle of
Yes.
studies. Thank you very much, Pastor. Hi, Pastor. Some of the most successful guys in the world today are university dropouts. Is it okay for me to drop out if I know that I'll be better off developing my own projects rather than wasting time in class?
Those are exceptions.
Okay.
That's not the rule. If you could still keep on to get a degree or diploma, I would advise you to finish your education. But if you are very sure that you'll be able to use your time better, and you are very certain that your time on your own, managing your time, will make you to be much more successful, and you are sure of your success, maybe it's something you want to try.
Dropping out of the university.
You know, everything is possible. You cannot tell people never to do something if they are convinced.
Well, all right, Pastor, so can we have an estimated period of time when you will likely be in Nigeria?
Next year I'll be in Nigeria for sure.
Next year. Wow.
That is an estimated period of time. By the grace of God, I hope to be in Nigeria next year.
Okay, Pastor. And with the team you are building and everything, how is it going? And
Everything is going perfectly well. We are getting more people from all over the world all the time, so good.
wow, thank you. Nigerians, watch out. There is hope again for our country. Pastor Sunday is coming to Nigeria next year, not just him alone, but with an amazing team of people. Some of them are professionals, some of them are artisans, some of them are experts in one area of life or the other. But everybody has some value, some sort of value to offer to the nation of Nigeria. So get ready. We will smile again in Nigeria. And of course, if you want to join pastors Nigeria Transformation Project for Nigeria, go to sundayadelajablog.com/Nigeria. Right there, you'll find every information you need to be a part of this team that Pastor Sunday is taking to Nigeria to transform Nigeria, but not just Nigeria right now, but the whole nation of Africa, the whole continent of Africa. Right, how can I build a personal development program for myself? I have tried, but it doesn't work out.
Simple. Make sure that you put a target before yourself to maybe do self-education for a certain, like for example, I make sure that I do self-education minimum 3 hours a day. So, you know, it's either by reading or by listening or by, but even I go to 6 hours a day sometimes. So just, discipline yourself. Maybe you could start with 30 minutes of self-education every day, maybe 1 hour. But, start with somewhere. Start with something.
Do you still have the 6 hours to yourself now, Pastor?
Yes, when I'm having my solitude, I do 6 hours, but on daily basis, I do 3 hours.
Wow. Thank you, sir. All right, Pastor. So while we're waiting for more of our viewers to send us questions, I think that which book are we expecting you to release next?
The next book is going to be a book that is called Insulted by Ungodliness. That's the title of the book.
Pastor, can you give us snippets from the book?
Oh, the book is going to be very rich.
Okay.
The book is going to be very challenging. The book starts with Malala, the Pakistani young girl that was shot and was had an attempted murder on her life because she started a campaign against the Muslim fundamentalists in their country because the Muslim fundamentalists in that area of town, of the state, the province where she comes from in Pakistan, they declared girls' education illegal.
Wow.
And they were trying to stop all girls from going to school, just like Boko Haram. So, and then this lady started a campaign. This girl, she was 11 years old then.
Wow.
At 11 years old, she decided to stop the fundamentalists because she was insulted by what they were doing. She was insulted by ungodliness. That insult drove her to stand against that ungodliness in her country as an 11 years old girl.
Wow.
And she succeeded. So the Taliban, they call them Taliban.
Right.
The Talibans were so furious at her, they decided to stop her too. So when she was 16, they tried to assassinate her. And they shot her. But God saved her and rescued her in a marvelous, miraculous way. This girl, she is now the youngest person to have received the Nobel Prize because of her stand. So I started with her story. And I went to the story of Moses, and I went to the story of Martin Luther King, all kind of people who have been insulted, even Mary Slessor, who have been insulted by one ungodliness or the other. And I'm challenging my readers that why are the things that are going wrong in your countries, in your societies, and what are the ungodliness around you? Stop complaining. Stand up to them. Stand up against the ungodliness and change them. So that book is going to be a book targeted at the generation of the provoked.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
So if you have been provoked, I want to provoke people to gather their anger and channel their anger
into taking proactive steps.
Yes,
not
into
just
constructive actions rather than just murmuring, complaining, and just being stagnant. And
And we so need that in our country right now. It would be a very good, what's the word? A very good sequel to Only God Can Save Nigeria.
Yes.
It's going to be a very good sequel.
The Only God Can Save Nigeria book is targeted at changing the mindset of the Nigerian nation, but especially the Christian people, the Christian community. But with the generation of the provoked, and or it's going to be called, what did I call it?
Insulted by ungodliness.
Insulted by ungodliness is for anybody, Christian or not Christian.
Okay. And amazingly, Pastor, your book, Only God Can Save Nigeria, is not just beneficiary to the Nigerian populace. I've actually heard some people from other nationals say they can actually take those principles and use to turn their own nation around too.
Yes, actually, to support what you are saying, tomorrow is Sunday.
Okay.
Like tonight, every Saturday evening, I don't preach, I have testimonies.
Right.
So tonight we are going to have a testimony, from some of my pastors, that they are going to be giving their testimony tonight. But tomorrow evening, which is Sunday, I'm going to be dedicating that whole program to that book, Only God Can Save Nigeria.
Wow.
Because there is a pastor, a minister in my house right now who is from Uganda. and got that book.
Okay.
And even though I said only God can save Nigeria, and he's from Uganda, but he read the book, and when he read the book, he said, this book is for my country. It's for Uganda. Wow. So he wants to come on the program tomorrow and dissect the book and tell us how much the book has changed him. In fact, it's going back. In fact, he's been here now. He's just doing solitude. That's why you've not seen him. He just locked himself up, solitude, reading the book and building strategies to go back to Uganda to be able to take on the political and socio-economic challenges of his country.
Wow, fantastic, fantastic. Nigeria will be changed. The whole of Africa will be changed. Pastor, thank you so very much.
So tomorrow he will be coming with his testimony, talking just about the book, how the book has changed him, challenged him.
That's for the evening session,
yes,
Pastor, 9:30 p.m.
Yes.
Nigeria, Ukraine time,
yes.
7:30 p.m. Nigerian time,
yes.
7:30 p.m. UK time.
No, not 7:30, 7.
Oh, 7 p.m. UK time, 7 p.m. Nigerian time, and 2 p.m. Eastern time.
Yes.
All right, so it's for only God can save Nigeria tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow evening.
All right, Pastor, we can't wait.
Yes.
We can't wait. One of our viewers says, you said 50% of people should not get married. So the person wants to know, how would he or she know if they are among the 50%? I don't know if the person is a male or female, but how will I know if I'm in that group?
By your preparedness. Marriage is not for everybody. Marriage is, everybody can potentially marry. Everybody can potentially marry, but not everybody will be prepared or is prepared to marry.
Okay.
For example, some people could say, I'm not ready to be living for another person. Or to be, I've not finished minding my own problems. I don't want to mind the problem I don't want to live for the problem of other people.
Right.
That means don't go in there. Don't go into marriage if that is your, don't be truthful to yourself. Don't deceive people. Don't deceive another person, and don't just fall under the pressure of the society that you go and do what your heart is not in doing. Because marriage is not about just taking care of you. It's about you taking care of another person. And if you are not ready for that, you just stay out of it. Okay. Otherwise, it will end up in tragedy. Another way to know if you are one of those people who doesn't want to marry or who will not marry, should not marry, is you should know that marriage will multiply any problem you have now. All the problems you have now. If let's say you have one problem now, it will multiply it 10 times by the time you marry. If you have 10 problems now, it will multiply 10 times to become 100. So if you are not ready and you are not an expert and you are not good in resolving problems and in tackling problems, you are not fit. You don't have the stamina. You don't like problems. Don't marry.
Wow. Wow.
Because your life will become more complicated. So the person who is qualified to marry is the person who has proven himself to be an expert in resolving problems.
Wow.
And then if you are planning to have children, that is another 10%. That is another 10 times. That is 100 times problem you will have. And if you are not skillful in resolving problems and you just want to go in the air, and it's just like saying you never try to swim. You don't know how to swim and you just jump into the river and say, I will find out my way somehow. I see other people swimming. But those other people have been prepared. Right. And if you have not been trained or prepared and you just jump in the river, they will bring your body out. It will come in cups.
Very true, Pastor. Could it have been better explained? Thank you, sir. Can I move on to our next question, sir?
Yes, yes.
All right. How can I become more like Christ? Do I need to just try to behave like him at all times? I ask because I've tried but failed many times. It's like I don't have the strength to do right and I'm born again. Please help.
Nobody has the strength to do right, even if they are born again.
Right.
If anybody tells you that they have the strength to do right, or they are living right, or they are holy as born again, they are just lying to you. Everybody, every man, born again or not born again, is fallible. And as a result, we need to depend on God's grace on a daily basis. So first of all, you need to know that on your own, you cannot try to do right. You cannot do right. But always humble yourself before God every day. Submit yourself to him. Ask for his grace and for his mercy, and ask for him to lead you and depend on his grace and then have a desire to pursue after him, you know, and have a resolution that no matter how many times you are going to stumble or fall, that you will keep on pursuing. Keep on pursuing after him, but in humility, not in your own power, but in his grace.
Thank you very much, Pastor. Thank you, sir. Right, the next question. With the present situation in American politics, how do you suggest Christians make the right decision in picking the right candidates?
I've already answered that question before, but I will try and answer it again. If I were to vote as a Christian, and just vote blindly, not using my head and not applying my mind, which is a terrible thing to do, then I will vote for Donald Trump. Just because he is campaigning on the platform of what many Christians stand for. He is against abortion. He's against gay marriage, legalizing gay marriage, abortion, and he wants to defend the interests of the Christians. Only for that, I will. But that is a sentiment kind of voting. Sentimental. So sentimentally speaking, I will vote and support Trump. But that is if I'm going to use my bias and sentiment as a Christian. But if I'm going to vote as a human being, thinking human being, as Homo sapiens, as a logical person, and as a thinking person, I will vote for Hillary Clinton. And the reason I'll vote for Hillary Clinton is because I know what to expect from her.
Wow.
The enemy you don't know is more dangerous than the one you know.
Yeah.
And the enemy you know, at least, is safer because you know what to expect from him than the one you don't know. I think that Trump is an enemy that nobody knows yet. And with Clinton, she's an enemy that at least we know what to expect from her. We know that she will support gay marriage. We know she will support abortion. But we know that it will just be the same thing as with what we already have. So at least there is a kind of predictability. Well, with Trump, nobody can predict anything. And it could go either way.
Wow.
That is number two. Number three, for Christians who are just saying, how could you even think of voting for Hillary Clinton because of abortion and because of gay marriage? To a large extent, it is hypocrisy. So Christians who are saying that they are voting for Donald Trump because of abortion and something, it's not true, because it's not going to be able to do anything much. Presidents don't decide everything in America. For example, we had a president who was a Christian too, and who was voted in on the basis of the fact that he was against gay marriage and he was against abortion. That was Bush Jr., George Bush Jr. But he didn't stop it. He only, removed financing for some partial abortion, but abortion was still legal. Abortion still continued, and he couldn't stop the gay. Just nothing changed. And and Trump is not going to be able to reverse and change everything.
Very true.
He could try, but the American situation is so complex because he has to take the Supreme Court decision, and a lot of the decision that he's trying to take, the Senate and the Congress, all of them have to support him, and for him to get the majority is going to be tough for him. So it's going to be the same thing. Everything is going to remain basically the same thing. For him to be able to change all those things that Christians are campaigning for, he needs to become a dictator or authoritarian person. And for that to happen, he has to violate the Constitution of America as well. And he's already saying now in his campaign that, okay, he's going to go to the states and all that. So it's already shifting a little bit from his rhetoric of, against abortion and gay. It's not going to be easy. The gay people are going to fight him. If he says he's going to, ban
Go
gay,
against them.
and abortion, women are going to fight him.
Right.
And there is almost nobody will survive it as a president in America if those two people, begin to fight him. So, it's just an emotional decision to try to vote for Trump, saying that he's supporting Christian values.
If you were the one that asked that question, I don't know what else you want to hear, but this is as explicitly clear as it can ever be. So there you have your answer. Pastor, somebody wants to know how they can get hold of your recent books on the bookshelves in Nigeria. They said many people are not able to get from Amazon or
Okada.
But I think they can get from Okada, Pastor. Maybe
Will
they
you
don't
tell
know.
them about that?
All right.
They want a paper book, I think.
They want.
And the Okada doesn't supply the
Okay,
paper
it doesn't.
book.
So, Pastor, what?
But
do
at
you
least
think
let
of-
them know about the Okada.
Okay, so if you are a resident in Nigeria and
Or Africa, I think.
or Africa, yes, and you want to get hold of any of Pastor's books, please kindly go to okadabooks.com. Okada, O-K-A-D-A, books.com. You'll get access to any of Pastor's books right there. A lot of people have been getting the books, and they're even leaving reviews where they got the books from. So kindly get the books from okadabooks.com. Any of Pastor's books are all. And as you go through the books, any thoughts that come into your mind, please kindly go back to that same Okada books and leave your comment on there. We would love to
Or
see
on
your
Amazon.
reviews. Or Amazon. If you get the book from Amazon too, as you read the book, as you get blessed, as you get inspired, don't forget, go back to Amazon. If you get from Okada, go back to Okada Books. Leave your thoughts, leave your reviews. We will be glad to have them. All right, so
But the books will soon be in Nigeria in paper
they will
books.
soon be in Nigerian
Yes.
paper. All
Maybe in
right.
the next 1 week or two it will be there.
Which of them, Pastor? Only God can save
Only
Nigeria.
God can save Nigeria.
Nigeria and the leadership question.
Yes, all of them.
Who am I?
Yes,
All of
all
them?
the new ones, right?
Okay, thank you, sir. So I know I should be reading my Bible, but I start in Genesis and I find that I don't understand much of it. What do you recommend for a beginner who wants to study God's word?
If you are a beginner, I would recommend you to go to the book of John. Start from chapter 1 there. And just go gradually. And you don't need to read a whole chapter at a sitting. Read maybe 5 verses. If you think you could go more, go another 5. Take them 5 by 5, 5 by 5. So if you feel that that's enough, but make sure that you meditate on those verses and you understand them and you try to ask yourself, how could I apply this? And how could I apply this? And so pay more attention to reading less and applying more. Pay more attention to application and how you could use the little portion you will read to change yourself, to transform you, rather than counting how many chapters you have read. The idea is not to finish reading the whole Bible. The idea is to be transformed by the Bible.
Thank you very much, Pastor. So which of the Johns, the one after Luke or?
The Gospel of John is only one.
Okay, the Gospel of John. All right, thank you very much. So here's John after Luke, not 1 John, 2 John, oh, right, John after Luke. Okay. Pastor, you said the books, okay, because the person asking for your books, they said they want to know precisely when the books will be on the shelf in Nigeria. Do we have?
In the next 2 weeks, it will be there.
In the next 2 weeks?
Yes.
All right, so in the next 2 weeks, if you ask that question, the books will be on the shelves in Nigeria in bookstores, I think. Another question, sir. I read from the Old and New Testament each day, but I'm amazed at how people in the Old Testament can see so many miracles and still be disobedient to God. How can this be?
So that it will be a lesson to us that we are not supposed to follow after miracles.
Okay.
And that miracles will not bring you salvation, and that miracles will not lead you to heaven. And that miracles is not even for believers, it's for unbelievers, to just bring them to Christ. We are supposed to live by principles, not by miracles.
And this is just like, of course, you always say that, but this amazing series that we have going on right now, the love series you started on your broadcast, I remember, I think it was yesterday when you were telling us that love is the greatest of all, not even miracles, not demonstrations of signs and wonders. And people should pay less attention on miracles and all those physical
prophecies,
all those prophecies,
manifestations.
all those manifestations, and actually follow after love. And Pastor, it really does make sense, because we have been following, many people have been going after these miracles, these manifestations and everything, and their lives have not really been changed. Their lives have not been transformed. Their situation has not changed, but yet they have been recipient, beneficiaries, and even witnesses to miracles over and over again.
Yeah, that's what happened in the Old Testament. They all saw the miracles. They saw the Red Sea parted.
Yeah.
They saw manna come from heaven every day. Quails, whatever, the birds were coming from. Quails were coming from heaven every day. They were eating them, but they were not being changed. They were still provoking God.
Wow. So it's just like a repetition of what has gone on in the Old
People get used to everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Thank you very much, Pastor. There's an interesting question here. The person says, can the devil read our thoughts just like God can?
Most Christians believe that it cannot, but I think it does. Otherwise, you will not be able to put bad thoughts in your mind.
Okay, so that's...
I only know that God will not judge you for your thoughts, I suppose. But, you know, who knows? Yeah. Christians say it doesn't, Satan doesn't know your thoughts, but I know for sure he puts bad thoughts in my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he has access there, I think. But what does that, what difference does that make? Yeah.
Okay, Pastor. You said you never went to theology school. Is there any need for me to go, knowing that they don't teach the kingdom gospel there? Somebody's asking.
It depends on your strength. If you feel that you have the energy to self-educate yourself, if you feel that you have the energy and the passion to do self-education on a continuous basis and to be able to discipline yourself to study, then you might not need to go to a theological school. Okay. But if you really want to be versed in the Bible and you want to know, different aspects of Christianity and the tenets of Christianity, and really, you still need to, it will be better for you to go and study it if you have the opportunity. But I studied it myself on my own. Okay. But it takes discipline, because I just needed to find out what the history of Christianity is and what Christians believe, and so I did it on my own. Okay. But it depends on your ability to organize yourself.
Well, I think the person is asking with respect to the kingdom gospel. He says he knows that they don't teach the kingdom gospel there, so is there any need for him to go?
Yes, because that's not the only thing that you need to know.
Okay.
It's not only the gospel of the kingdom you need to know. You need to know a lot of other things. You need to know the Old Testament. You need to know why, what led to what. You need to know a lot of aspect of Christianity and the world, and even you need to know what the enemies are thinking, and you need to know what religion is thinking, what are the things that are wrong with the church and now and in the past, the history, So you still need to study them either on your own, and the theology, the gospel of the kingdom, you need to study that on your own, even if you are not going to get in a Bible school.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm sure the person got his answer from that. All right, sir. Why did God allow polygamy in the Bible?
The Bible, Jesus gave the answer to that. He said because of our the stubbornness of our hearts, because of the hardness of our hearts. Thereby, if you want to look for natural explanations, number one, polygamy allows for it's like a natural cure for the problem of lust, and it's a natural cure for the problem of unfaithfulness. It's a natural cure for the problem of adultery. So instead of you being unfaithful and going about to look for to be, because right now the problem has not been solved. Even though it's not allowed in many countries, but men still involve themselves in lust. Almost all men and women too, and especially men. And many men also still engage themselves in the problem of adultery, extramarital marriages, and also divorce. So all those problems that we have now, they were addressed in one by polygamy in the Old Testament. But that was not the ideal picture of what God expected for man. God still expected that, man, which will be for one man, will be for one woman, and one woman for one man. So that's why Jesus proclaimed that in the New Testament, because even though polygamy addresses all those other questions that I mentioned, but it also creates many other problems. It creates the problems of jealousy. It brings the problem of envy to the table. It also brings in the problem of commitment. It brings in the problem of lack of commitment to one person, and lack of, a lot of, jealousy among children, a lack of, fairness among children, among wives, a lot of things just that, that might be as evil and even greater evil than those other ones that he's solving. So many more complications.
Wow. All right, so Pastor, this brings us to the end of tonight's show. Thank you so very much for all the insightful answers you gave us. I'm sure if you spent your time with us tonight, you did not waste your time. You picked up new insight, new wisdom. This is the way it always is with Pastor Sandey Adelaja. So thank you once again, Pastor. We are most grateful to have you on the show tonight. All right, so guys, Pastor will have his live broadcast in the next 2 minutes. It's live broadcast, and we are on love series this week. This series has been so amazing. Who doesn't speak the language of love? Who doesn't want to know about love? Who has not felt love at one point in time or the other, or given love to somebody? Who doesn't want to know about love? Love is one such topic that is universal amongst all human beings. So please join Pastor in the next 2 minutes. Pastor's Facebook page, like him on Facebook at Dr. Sandey Adelaja. Follow Pastor on Twitter at pastor_official, and subscribe to Pastor's YouTube channel, Sandey Adelaja Official. When you do this, you will not miss out on any new content or video the Pastor uploads. So in 2 minutes, Pastor will be broadcasting again. We would love to have you on the broadcast tonight. Pastor, please just speak a word of blessing into the lives of the viewers.
Yes, Father, we release your grace, we release your anointing, your blessings, and your touch, the touch of the power of resurrection upon everybody that's watching us. Open their eyes, open their mind, and cause them to move closer to you than ever before. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you so very much, viewers, for joining us tonight. We love you so dearly. See you next week, same time. Until then, bye for now.